We keep saying, what makes Farscape Farscape?
Discovery, wonder, romance, and humor.
It's sci-fi and fantasy, to be honest.
The creative choices are much bolder.
Which is something that television's never really attempted.
The creatures are much more alien.
This show is huge.
It's just much more out there.
It's an epic television series.
Probably 6 or 7 years ago, we decided that we wanted to try to set up a show that was a big show that sort of showed off all the capabilities of the Henson Company, the Creature Shop, and everything that we can do, and take some of the stuff that we're used to putting in features and put it into a television series, and really do something special. Eventually met Rockne O'Bannon, who had he's created Alien Nation, Sequest, and had very much the right sensibility. And then he created this show and this premise.
The same way that Henson wanted to take the series from a production standpoint in a very unique direction, I thought, how can we take what we've come to know and like so much about science fiction television in Star Trek and Babylon 5 and twist it in another direction and take it someplace from a story standpoint that's significantly different than what we've been seeing. And I think we've done that.
Farscape's main character is someone from our own time, John Crichton.
Hi. A man from Earth, John Crichton, an astronaut scientist, goes up one day in a one-man module to orbit the Earth.
Now, approaching maximum velocity.
His intention is to conduct an experiment.
Meteorology reports some kind of electromagnetic wave.
At the crucial moment of the experiment, an error occurs, and he's suddenly catapulted through a wormhole, a shortcut, if you will, through time and space, and he ends up essentially on the other side of the universe. Once there, he meets and boards a ship of very unusual characters, which are right out of the Jim Henson Creature Shop imagination.
We can't understand. We've done it. We've escaped.
He comes from this place where he grew up. He watched E.T., and he probably has in his head, he has this idea of what it is to meet an alien. And suddenly you have a modern-day human thrown into the situation where he's in an alien world. And it's nothing like what's on TV.
Boy, was Spielberg ever wrong. Close Encounters my ass.
Talk about your American abroad. You know, he can't even get McDonald's at this end of the universe.
It's time for us to eat.
Eat what?
He spends a lot of time figuring out what's going on around him, and then getting knocked down and getting dragged around, and then he pops back up and comes up with an idea to save his butt.
This particle analyzer is defective. Peacekeeper technology, you use it.
Techs use them, not infantry.
Yeah. Pilot said you press this, this, and this. Well, it's just like a VCR, except easier.
The cast is composed of 5 or 6 core members, depending on how you count them, because some of them are human and some of them are not.
Greetings. I am Pa'uzota Zen. This is John Crichton, Aaron Sun, and His Eminence, Domina Rigel the 16th. Rigel is such a naughty, wicked little devil, bitter and twisted and unique, funny.
Miserable and all the more self-important and pompous and arrogant. And he's also a little bit like a politician because you never know quite what he's saying, if what he's saying is the truth. So you always feel like you have to be careful with him, and you have to be on your guard with him.
Don't you know this is an act of war? When my council hears of this, the Hynerian Navy will scorch this hellhole. That should get him thinking.
I saw some dailies recently of me doing a scene with Rigel, and I look as if I was expecting an answer from this puppet, and I got one, and I just thought it was really funny watching me talking to something that wasn't actually real. And I know John Nicholson will be very upset with me for saying that, but he is a puppet. He's not real, Rigel.
Oh, leave me alone. I don't feel well at all.
Quit complaining. You're lucky to be alive.
Well, I'm very that.
I did the best that I could, and it wasn't in my training, you know.
Peacekeepers are trained only to kill.
So don't forget that this peacekeeper just saved your life.
Oh.
It's amazing talking with this thing that moves like a real creature, you know?
The alien members of the Farscape crew were designed and built at the London Creature Shop. Rigel was the most complex character to make, the result of years of research and development. His foam skin needs to be washed and wrung out to remove the sulfurous egg smell of the latex. However, the latex is very fragile and can tear easily, so many additional foam skins are prepared. The complex eye and ear mechanisms are designed using a 3D computer program. It is crucial that the moving pieces inside the head don't bump against each other while in operation. Space is at a premium, and each piece has to fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. Each section is crafted by hand in lightweight aluminum and durable brass. The many servo motors in Rigel's head are remote controlled in order to operate the eyes, eyebrows, and ears. All of Rigel's extra sets of arms and legs have to be painted carefully by hand to exacting standards. During shooting, these arms can either be retouched with paint or replaced with spares. John Eccleston, Rigel's main puppeteer, generally works at floor level.
20. There was a time.
He views his performance through a live camera feed to a monitor. John's left hand holds a joystick attached to a belt around his waist, which gives him mastery of all the lip and mouth shapes. Another puppeteer operates the remote-controlled elements of the face.
20 barrels of fluid. There was a time when you would have been disemboweled with a dull lesson spade bar, such an insult to me. 35.
While Rigel may be the smallest of the Farscape crew, Moya is without a doubt the largest.
I hate Starburst.
Moya is their ship. A creature workshop was specially set up at the Fox Studios. It was populated by a mixture of UK and Australian experts. This shop is responsible for building the many different aliens that appear from episode to episode.
When the writers saw this character, they liked it so much they wrote a show around it. So we're now currently rebuilding it and making it more sophisticated.
Prepare to attack!
This is one of the DRDs. And it's like a little mechanical droid that sort of looks after Moya and scurries around and sort of repairs things when they break.
Was that necessary?
It felt good. Give me navigation now.
This is a mechanical tentacle that's being built for a character called Jarbo. We really don't see much of him. He's kind of just a shadow in the background in a cage, and he's sharing a cell with Rigel in one of the episodes.
Is there a problem?
Whichever way they move the control, so this thing follows.
Hey, tentacles off, what do you think you're doing? It was unwanted by you. Doesn't mean you can have it.
But enough of aliens. Isn't there another human, apart from John Crichton, on board Moya?
What is your rank and regiment? She is human in appearance, but she's comes from a different race and a different galaxy completely.
Where are you from?
He claims to be a human from a planet called Earth. So it's extraordinary when she comes into contact with John Crichton because she just doesn't understand him at all.
Almost nothing about the tabloids.
Tablex.
Whatever. We do know that they will pay us to haul cargo, which they're not going to do if you go in there doing your John Wayne impression.
John Wayne, who's that? A relative?
John Wayne? Oh, it's the big guy. True Grit, the Searchers, the Cowboys, Genghis Khan. Well, no, look, forget about Genghis Khan. Everybody makes a bad movie. But the point is...
No, the point is I'm not going to meet that shuttle unarmed. Simple as that. She probably finds him devastatingly handsome, but she's not very happy about that concept at all.
Kung Fu. Kung Fu never carried a gun.
He complains. Ben complains and says that I hit him harder than anybody, and it's not fair. Now let's go.
No, absolutely not. There are other things that we can do. We can try negotiating with the tabloids. We can...
Lex, because the stunt double's far more brutal with him than I'll ever be. He likes to give me a hard time about that.
Next time you hit me, make sure that I don't wake up. Oh, don't me. This is not over with. And when it is, you and I are going to sit down and have a serious talk.
So, when this is over, you and I will probably be dead.
When we first saw her audition, we thought, that's not what we imagined. It was sort of thought that, that's not really what we saw. And then you watch her for 10 seconds and you can't stop.
She gives me a Woody. Woody. It's a human saying. I've heard you say it often. When you don't trust someone or they make you nervous, they give you...
Willies. She gives you the willies.
I think she's kind of like a contemporary Emma Peel in a way. Funky, groovy chick. I call her Cyber Spice now. That's really who she is.
Hurry! So, apart from confused humans, an anarchist priestess, living spaceships, teenage warriors, paranoid pilots, angry aliens, and female commandos dressed head to toe in black leather, what sets Farscape apart from anything else on television?
It's the choices. It's Rigel. You wouldn't find Rigel in any other television show.
Rigel now.
Crichton.
Now, Rigel.
Crichton.
Rigel, now. Now, Rigel!
Take them!
The whole thing has an alienness, a daringness that you don't see on television. You see in features. You know, every year there's probably 1 or 2 features that are this bold. But you don't see it on television, and that's sort of what we were always trying to do.
Brian and I would joke, oh, we're doing the film today, because we have so many setups. We have CGI, we have split-screen shots, we've got creatures coming in, we've got the puppeteers all over the floor, and you go, my gosh, this is overwhelming.
This show, to me, has the scale and the look and the aspirations to really be an example of what I think entertainment in the 21st century is going to become.
It's overwhelming to be at the center of it.